If you're expecting your first baby, there's probably a lot of things that you know are about to come in postpartum life. But what about some of those lesser known things that a lot of women experience, but not a lot of women talk about? We're going to get into that today in this episode. Let's go ahead and jump on in. Hey there, if you're new, I'm Jill, and this is Confessions of a New Mom. I have an 8-month-old son, so I am in the trenches of adjusting to being a new mom and what it's like having a child and just really adjusting to all the things that come with that. So it is my joy to be able to share with other moms what this experience is like. I love getting to find women who relate to me and understand what I'm going through, and I hope that I get to be that for you as well. Today, we're going to be jumping into some of the lesser known things that happen in postpartum life that a lot of women experience, but not necessarily a lot of women talk about before the baby comes. So we're going to jump into it so that you're prepared and you can know to be on the lookout for them. Let's jump into the first one. You know that in newborn life, you're not going to get a whole lot of sleep, right? Your little one's going to need to wake up every 2 to 3 hours to feed. And that means you are not going to be getting a lot of sleep through the night. However, there is something that can help you through that, and that is your mindset. If you go into this newborn life, postpartum life with the mindset of, this is for a season, I'm not going to get the sleep I used to get, but we're going to get through this and get to the other side, it is going to make newborn life so much easier. Yes, lack of sleep is hard no matter what, but when you approach it with the understanding that this is just the way that it is for now, it truly does make the experience a lot easier to get through. The next thing a lot of women experience, but not necessarily everyone talks about before you have your first baby, is hair loss. Yes, postpartum life means that you're probably going to experience some hair loss that's rather significant. And you know what? When it starts happening, it's a little scary at first. I mean, I know for myself, I was starting to see chunks of hair coming out when I was taking a shower. And I think the scary part is not knowing when it's going to stop or if it's going to stop. Now, the good news is that it does slow down. It's going to pick up for a little bit and then it's going to ease down, right? And every woman's experience is going to be different with this. There's no one size fits all. Again, mindset is key. Knowing that this is going to happen and that it's not going to last forever is going to help you through this phase. It can be jarring to see your hair coming out, and it's not even necessarily just your hair. It's just realizing that like everything has changed, your body has changed, your hair is coming out. Like, what in the world has just happened to you? Like, life is just turned upside down, and hair loss is kind of like this physical reminder and evidence that that really is true, as if the baby wasn't enough, right? But just know that it is going to stop. You're not going to lose your hair forever. It's a season. I think for me, it lasted about a month. It was a month of like really seeing my hair come out, and then eventually it started subsiding. So be prepared. It's probably going to happen for you, but you're going to be okay. You're not going to go bald. You're going to get through this season, and I promise it will get better. This next one, I understand why no one really talks about it, but they really should. And that is that it's actually very normal and common for you to begin having feelings of resentment towards your husband. So even the happiest, healthiest marriage is going to be incredibly changed by having a new little baby come into your family. The marriage that you had is no longer the marriage you have now. You have a whole other human being living in your house who is very dependent upon you. And that is going to create just a different dynamic in yourself, in your husband, and in your relationship. And let's face it, as women, we know that while dad can do so much to help out and be present and be supportive, the fact is that your little one is just going to need you in a different way, right? If you're breastfeeding, your little one needs you for their food and nutrition. Your little one is just going to find comfort in you that they just might not find in dad for a little bit, right? You're mom, and that is a very special role in the life of your baby. And unfortunately, what can come with that is a lot of pressure on you, a lot of just feeling of constant demand and really being needed all the time. I remember seeing my husband go off to work and feeling like he had this sense of normalcy in his life that was back. And here I was taking care of this little human being 24/7, right? And no matter how much he did and no matter how much he helped out, I just felt like my life was just completely different. And what can come with that is feeling like your world has changed, but your husband's world maybe hasn't changed. And you know that it has, but maybe when you see him go off to work or go out of the house and he can just do things seemingly so easy, and you can't because you have this little one depending upon you for everything, there can be just the feelings of resentment that come up, right? I remember one time my husband came home from work and he was talking about how tired he was. And I was like, oh no, you do not get to tell a new mom who has been up with her baby all night long and then had to get up and take care of that baby all day that you're tired. It doesn't work that way, right? Like you don't tell a new mom that you're tired. In that household, mom is the only one who gets to complain about being sleepy, right? And it's just natural part of what happens, right? Like there just can be a resentment or an anger even that comes inside of you at times. It's not abnormal. It happens. Again, be prepared that that can take place, right? That doesn't mean you don't love your husband. It doesn't mean you don't love your baby. It just means that this is a lot. There's a lot of changes happening to you. Life as you know it is just, it's never going to be the same. And that's going to be an adjustment for you, your husband, and even for this little baby that's living in your home now. So if you find yourself having those moments of resentment towards your husband, take a deep breath, talk to him about it, share what's going on in your heart and mind. Find some other women in your community who understand and have been there too, and be patient with yourself. You're going to get through this phase, and I promise you, as more sleep comes, as you adjust to this new life, you're going to get more balance, and things between you and your husband, they can get better too. Another part of newborn life that I really never heard women talking about, but I started experiencing it maybe like 2, 3 weeks into newborn life, that was an anxiety that I started feeling as the sun was going down. There was something about knowing that nighttime was coming, and I would begin just feeling anxious about it. Like, yes, I knew I wasn't going to be getting sleep, but that wasn't even it. It was more this fear of maybe being alone and taking care of my baby and knowing that he was going to cry throughout the night and was I going to be able to comfort him. Yes, my husband was there, but as we know, like moms, like we're the ones who are getting up and feeding our little ones in the night, right? And there just for me was this anxiety and kind of like an isolation, knowing that nighttime was coming and it was probably going to feel long and I wasn't going to get sleep, and just a lot of emotions that were happening during that time. This is, I have come to find out, pretty normal. I have talked to other women about it, and yeah, there can be an anxiety as they start to see the sun going down and they know that night is approaching. If this is something that you end up experiencing, I want to share a few tips with you that may help to make it a little bit better. First off, I found a lot of comfort knowing that when I was up at, say, like 2 in the morning with my little one, somewhere out there was another woman who was also up with her baby. Out there in this world, there are women up all over the planet getting up at night with their babies. And there was just some sort of comfort in knowing, like, okay, like, yes, I'm alone in this house right now, but I'm not alone in the bigger sense. There's so many other women experiencing the same thing too. I also highly recommend having a group of women that, if you know, are also moms and you know they're going to be up at night, get together, create a text group with one another, send those texts at 3 in the morning, be like, hey, who else is up, right? If you don't want those text messages coming in, set it to silent. And so you just see the notifications pop up. It might be a really great support to you to know that there are other women who are out there that are awake, your friends are up too, and they're just a text message away that you can reach out for support and community when you really need. The other piece I'm going to say to this that maybe is kind of controversial because you're told all the time, like, don't be on your phone at night, it keeps you awake. I actually found a lot of comfort in having my phone at night. I would listen to podcasts or my favorite TV show, And it just helped me. I mean, my little one needed to eat and then he had acid reflux. So if he laid down right away, he would spit all of it up. So I had to sit up with him for another 20 to 30 minutes after he ate. And this was at like 2, 3 in the morning, right? So having like my favorite TV show that I could turn on and just listen to in the dark, like, oh, it actually was pretty comforting and nice to have, right? So I know that that goes against the grain of what everyone tells you about having your phone next to you and sleeping. But you know what? I don't know, like newborn life is a little bit of survival mode. You got to do what you got to do. And for me, that was a little bit of a comfort. So it might be a comfort for you as well. Let's talk real quick about intrusive thoughts. You actually may have heard about this. I feel like more and more people are talking about it, but just in case it's not something that you're aware of, yes, you can have some pretty wild, crazy thoughts after you have your baby. I'm talking like I'm walking down the stairs with my son in my arms and I just think like, what if I dropped him right now and he went tumbling down the stairs? Why would I ever think that, right? Like what crazy wild thoughts you can have. And they can be scary. They're scary because you think, oh my gosh, if I'm thinking it, would I ever actually do it? But really, in most cases, honestly, no, of course you're not going to do something like that. Sometimes these are just wild thoughts that are happening, right? You're going through so many hormonal changes, emotional changes. There's a lot physically going on within you and then within the environment around you. Take heart and know again, you're not alone. If you do have thoughts like that, let the thought come and let it go, right? Sometimes I've just gotten to the point of acknowledging that was a crazy thought and then let it go on its way, right? Just because you have the crazy thought doesn't mean you're going to follow through on it. Now, if you do get to the point where you truly are having a lot of these thoughts and they are really concerning to you, talk to someone about them, right? Talk to your doctor, talk to trusted women in your life who maybe have experienced it too. You don't need to be alone with these thoughts. It's okay to share them, not be ashamed of them, and know that it's a natural part of things that happen. It's unfortunate and it's really a really crazy part of the postpartum life. But again, be prepared by knowing that it can happen. There's nothing wrong with you, and it's okay to ask for help if this one feels a little bit too heavy for you to carry. Just know that you don't have to carry it. Postpartum life is a wild ride. It is just an adjustment on all sides. There are so many things to enjoy. You're just going to love your little one. Yes, you're going to be tired. Yes, you're going to have moments of being afraid. And there's going to be things that you don't expect, but there's also going to be so much to enjoy. So just know that you are not alone. If you were going through something and experiencing it as a new mom, there's probably someone else who has experienced it too. Don't be afraid to share what you're going through and get that community and help and support that you need to get you through this season. If you know other women who are about to become a first time mom, go ahead and share this with them. Help them to get prepared for things that maybe they're not thinking of as they're entering the newborn and postpartum life. And make sure to subscribe and follow along. I am so excited to be able to share my journey of becoming a new mom with you. And I'd love to be able to be there for you. We've got this. We can do this, especially when we do it in community with one another.